The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a true master of real estate with us today. Peter Vekselman is a seasoned investor and has been a leader in the real estate industry for over 30 years. Today, he leads a team called Partner-Driven Real Estate Investing. Partner-Driven Real Estate Investing is a team of real estate professionals who continue to close deals across the country. Peter's passion is breaking down barriers that hold people back from becoming real estate investors themselves. He believes in it so much, Peter provides 100% of the capital. Peter will also be speaking at the Residential Summit on the Residential Real Estate Summit on October 3rd of this year for the state of Georgia. Peter, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you are welcome. So let's start at the beginning. I mean, you've got a great backstory that I've seen, and you help a lot of people. How'd you get started, and how'd you get to where you are now?
Well, I got started in real estate like so many people get started in things by accident. I got out of a totally unrelated industry, was given a book by someone very successful in this industry. Before you know it, I jumped in head over heels. Before you know it, I lost everything I had. 2 months later, I was living out of the backseat of my car, made a lot of just very basic mistakes, Tim, in this business.
Right.
Trusted the wrong people, didn't have enough information, was learning as I go, not understanding how to make the right, how to get the right information and who to get it from. Met my first mentor. His name was Barton, many, many years ago now. And took me a couple of years to get out of the mess I'd created to that point. And here we are 22 years later, 3,600 deals later, have a very unique, unusual model. Now I partner on my deals across the United States with people. We provide them what they need to be successful. They provide to us the local boots on the ground, which is what we need to do deals. And the combination of the two has made us extremely successful and have helped many other people become extremely successful in this real estate investing business.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, there's no doubt that anyone starting in real estate or looking to invest in real estate, there are plenty of potholes to fall into. And it sounds like that your program really helps alleviate some of that. Am I right?
It does. And here's the thing. It's not the potholes, because the biggest problem with this industry, why, Tim, it's got such a awful success rate. I don't even know if you're aware of this. And I know it's a real estate meeting we're heading into.
Right.
Less than 3 to 5% of people ever become successful in real estate. And this business really, I hate to say it because I'm so much part of it, it sets people up to fail. And the reason it sets people up to fail, it's a very unorganized, very dislocated industry. There is no one governing body, one governing source. There is no assembly line. Right. So an average investor has to get their education from somewhere. Then they have to figure out how to generate leads and opportunities, and they get that from somewhere else. They have to all of a sudden realize they have to negotiate deals, so they get that training somewhere else. They have to make decisions, so they get all these apps in terms of getting information somewhere else. And then they raise capital somewhere else, usually from their hard money lenders, which, most hard money lenders make more money than the investors they're lending to.
Right.
Then comes the ultimate pit hole, which is trying to get a rehab done, and that's, by the way, how I became homeless. I got taken advantage by all the rehab dudes out there. Yeah. Then you just try to sell it, and you're lucky if you haven't lost too much money, and that's an average lifespan of an investor. Again, it's this piecemealing. It's like putting together a car from 30 different junkyards. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work, but that's how people do real estate business. And so how we flip the industry upside down here at Partner Driven, Tim, is we actually put everything under one roof. We teach all of our partners across the states under one roof. We actually spend our own money and generate leads for all of our partners. And we know which leads work since we're active in the business. We provide them the latest and the greatest technology to get information. We give them a back office. Our back office handles everything for them, the transactions,
Yeah, that's huge.
paperwork, I back them financially. So our partners have to spend no money, bring any money to the table on anything, purchases, sales, anything like that. And then our rehabs guys get into these cities, help them fix it. We put these properties in the market, sell them, and split the profits with them 50-50.
Wow.
And the reason that this model works so well is that we put this all under one roof. And we know our roof works for one very simple reason. I put my money where my mouth is.
Right.
I actually back our investors, our partners. And so we know, because here's the problem. It's not just piecemealing these things together. As you know, there's a lot of pieces within every piece.
Right.
Marketing. Okay, well, everybody knows they need marketing. Well, go Google marketing for real estate investing, There's 6,000 different places to get it from.
Sure.
How do you know which kind of marketing to use? Well, we do, because we've done 3,600 of these transactions. So not only do we know how the pieces fall together, we know which component of every piece is the one that works. And this is why we have such incredible success rates with our existing partners right now.
Wow, that's I guess the way it sounds, the way you've wrapped it up and packaged it, that's what my dad would call a sweetheart deal. I mean, it's kind of hard to say no to something like that. So let me ask you, who should partner with you? I mean, on the student side, or the first time investor side, or whatever, whomever's contacting you, what does that person look like, and what are they looking for?
Well, it's people that want to level up in life from a financial perspective and from a lifestyle perspective. It's people who are not afraid of putting effort into a business, because they're still the boots on the ground. They still go out there, talk to sellers with our leads. We walk them through everything. So it's really people who are sick and tired of their corporate jobs. What they're currently doing isn't working. They want to make a change. They're willing to invest time into themselves and effort into themselves. People that want to make more, gain more, and do more, really is the perfect candidate. Probably most of the time, the people that become our partners are people that are slanted towards the real estate business. Just because somebody wants to do more and gain more and have more doesn't mean, some people want to accomplish it,
Right.
Becoming professional athletes,
Right.
Some people want to invest in stocks and bonds. I just
Right.
happen to think real estate is the way to go. So it's most of the people that start with us already know at least the real estate industry is direction they want to head into.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna, the follow-up to this, I was gonna ask, Peter. It's like, do you find that people that come in and have maybe, fallen down, in their first, much like you did starting out, are those people a little more jaded and more or less difficult, or is it across the board, everybody's pretty much the same and they just want to take it to the next level? I mean, do they come in with bad habits? I guess that's the best way to put it.
Most people not necessarily come in with bad habits, but they could relate to what we do.
Gotcha.
It's like when I shared a story in an expanded way that I shared with you about the problem with the industry.
Right.
Most people, they kind of get it. Like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I learned from this. By the way, there's nothing wrong learning from this guru. A lot of people have tremendous information. There's nothing right. It's the piecemealing it together that's difficult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
just because you're taking an engine, don't mean that engine's going to fit in every car.
Right.
Well, that's how real estate is. So it's not like that this marketing doesn't work. It's just this particular marketing may not work in a city that you live in, may not work under the budget, and may not be getting the deals you want to get. So,
Right.
So there's a lot of very workable pieces in real estate. The hard part is this is why when they put cars together or things, there's the thing called an assembly belt.
Yeah.
There's a rhyme or reason to constructing and putting things together. Real estate industry doesn't have that. So most people that get started with us, when I share the story, they're like, yeah, that's me. I'm bouncing around. I'm learning this here, and this piece is not working. And then they think they're like, what? I thought I was getting ripped up by this guru. No, he's telling you the right information.
Right.
It's just that information ain't going to work for you because you're not the prototype for that information. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the piecemealing. And there's some pieces that you have to go through. Like, like, who gets into real estate thinking they have to be a great negotiator? Not many people.
Right.
How many people learn to be great negotiators ahead of time? Not many people. Well,
Right.
guess what? Negotiations has the biggest impact on your deal. Because if you can negotiate a deal 20 to 30% down, you ain't going to save it in the cost of your money. You ain't going to save it in the cost of your closing attorney.
Right.
You ain't going to save it from any kind of perspective. So how do you become a great negotiator? Well, again, because we do everything under one roof, boom, here's how you negotiate deals. Raising capital. How many people have raised capital before and gotten real estate? Very few. But if you get in the real estate, unless you're just wealthy, independently wealthy, you got to raise capital. You got to put deals together. And most people, this is why they get ripped off. They don't know how to interpret correctly. They have no idea that when they're getting that local guy to give them money, that local guy's done 100 of these or 1,000 of these, and he's 10 times smarter than you. And he's going to set up the terms in such a way that he wins. That's the problem in this business. So when people hear what I explain to them, they're like, yeah, that's me. I just barely got out of a deal, and my hard money guy made 3 times more than I did, and he did no work, and I, stayed up every night putting this stuff together. So that's really, really what happens to most people that hear how I explain this whole business. It resonates to them. Light bulb goes, I'm like, yep, I get it, and this is why I need what he's got.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds like, finding the solution is isolating the problem, right? I mean, that's the bottom line. Yeah. So, kind of last question about you individually, at what point in your journey did you realize helping others was kind of, your impetus? It sounds like you do really work well with helping others get to that goal. At what point did you figure out that that's where you wanted to take that next?
Well, by the way, our whole model is based upon a win-win model. It's helping people. Number 2, I'd love to take credit for it and just said a light bulb went off, and I'm just all about helping people. It really did. It helped. It happened as a necessity. I wanted to figure out how I could start doing deals across the United States.
Okay.
And I just couldn't figure it out for many years. We set offices up and all that kind of stuff. But then ultimately, just one day it hit us. It's just like, hey, why don't we just find everyday people who aren't afraid of hard work, who aren't afraid to be the boots on the ground. They just need to know how to do it the right way. Right. Let's back them financially to make sure debt never becomes a problem. And then we just start adding pieces on. They're like, well, let's just do marketing for them because we know how to market. Right. And then we're like, well, let's add the back office on because nobody thinks you need a back office, but you need a back. So it just kind of evolved over a number of years. We've been doing it for many years now, but it really did. It evolved out of necessity for me to do more deals. Then it evolved out of necessity for both me and the local partners to do it the right way. Because it wasn't just funding the guy across the country, because a lot of people think, well, it's just about the money. Well, anybody who knows real estate knows it ain't just about the money. There's 20,000 other moving pieces. So we started kind of adding all these pieces on because in the beginning, we kind of started making some mistakes. It's not just a matter of giving Bob Jones $100,000 to do a deal because he's going to lose it. So okay, well, let's help him find it. Let's teach him how to do it. Let's give him the technology. Let's give him the paperwork. Let's give him the back office. Let's set our construction in there. And then it developed to a full-fledged partnership model.
Yeah, that's a great model. I mean, you could be altruistic all you want. And at the same time, both of you profit. And I don't know anybody who gets into real estate to not profit. There are some, but very few.
Not me.
Not you and I. So let's talk about October 3rd. So the residential real estate summit for Georgia. You are going to be a speaker there. Give us a little hindsight on what we'll be talking about and what folks can look forward to.
Well, number 1, I'm going to share with them the real solution to what it takes for them to be successful themselves. Let's say somebody looks at this and like, well, how do I want to put all these pieces together? How do I do it? So I'm going to give them a blueprint. Like if somebody wants to put all these pieces themselves, how they have to do it under their own roof. And then I'm going to provide a viable solution, which is me. If you don't want to do it yourself, we could partner together, split the profits on the back end, make sure it's done the correct way, and kind of might present myself as an alternative for somebody to have the same thing that's really needed. Really, the only question, Tim, in this business is that all these pieces are needed. There's non-negotiable. It's not like you could say, well, I'm going to do everything, but I hate marketing. I'm just not going to find any deal. It ain't going to work. Right. All these pieces are needed. So at the summit, I'm going to provide the solution of how somebody could do it themselves. I'm going to share with a little bit more detail how I could do it with someone. And then they make a decision. If they want to move forward in real estate, do they want to do it all themselves? Here's the blueprint. Or I want to connect and partner with someone like me, and here's how you do that.
Nice. I'll tell you what, I definitely love your energy. I think
Thank you.
that's what a lot of people, I'll say it point blank. People need that. People need energy like that, positive energy, and understands all facets and assets of real estate investing, because it can be a slippery slope. So, how can folks get in touch with you? Where can they reach you if they want to reach out? If maybe
If they want to reach out to me ahead of time, go to my Instagram. It's instagram.com/my name, Peter Vekselman, which is on the screen. Just hit my profile link and there's a way to schedule a call.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Peter, we look forward to hearing and seeing you at the summit on October 3rd. And any last words?
I'm looking forward to being there. I'm looking forward to providing a tremendous amount of value. Let's go do it.
I know you will, buddy. All right. Hey, it was great talking to you. Thanks for being on the show. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Tim.
All right.